Drum Alert Nation, I'm your host, Killer Keemstar. Let's get right into the news! FaZe Rug. I love Rugrat. Such a good kid. I love his family. But his brother, I've never liked. And we're talking about Brandon here. His brother is also a YouTuber with millions of subscribers. And, well, I don't like his brother at all because his brother a couple years ago was bullying Rug and threatening to ruin Rug's career, which is just so wrong and so messed up because Rug is such a nice guy. He's the one that gave his brother, Brandon, a career in the first place. So what is this video about? Well, let me explain, okay? Two girls reached out to me that know Brandon and know Brandon's cousin Anthony, and they had horrible experiences with them. One of them was being verbally abused by Anthony, the cousin, and the other one claims that Anthony and Brandon locked her in a room and tried to do some no-no stuff to her, all right, when she was completely intoxicated. So I brought both these girls on an interview and filmed the interview, but after the interview was done, I reached out to Brandon and Anthony for a statement. Here is Brandon and Anthony's statement on this situation that you're about to hear. Roll it.
Okay, so I'm here. We were at the mall, and I just got off the phone with Keem, who told me what this girl is accusing me of doing. I'm in absolute shock. I'm literally speechless. Like, I'm trying to send this video out so I could share my side of the story, but to be honest, there's no side of the story. This girl was Anthony's pretty much girlfriend. They were talking for almost half a year, like 4 or 5 months, and they were serious talking. It wasn't just playing around. They were about to be boyfriend and girlfriend. So why would me, Anthony's best friend and first cousin, try, dude, that's beyond the fact that if she is accusing us of rape or sexual harassment, proof that this girl is a clout chaser, why would she go to Keem? Why would she go to a YouTube news channel instead of going to the cops? Emily, if you were raped or sexually harassed, wouldn't you go to the cops? Dude, this girl from the start, we knew it doesn't take you more than 1 minute to go through her Instagram to know that she's a clout chaser. That's the only reason my name was brought in on this. I'm Anthony's best friend. I'm his right-hand man. I would never do anything like that to Anthony, let alone she said we were in the room together. Why would Anthony let that happen with the girl he's about to date? Dude, Anthony's birthday, all of my friends were downstairs. I was downstairs with them. Anthony and Emily went in the room upstairs. I was not in the room. Everybody who knows me knows I would never do anything like that. I was downstairs with my friends. I don't know this girl like that. All I know, she was one of Anthony's girls. That's all I know. If she was being serious about this, we would be hearing from the cops, not from a YouTube news channel. She is chasing clout, and I'm literally speechless that she would ever do anything like this. Emily, if you're watching this, I really don't know what to say. And obviously, I was waiting for Keem to show me proof. I was like, wait, does she have proof of this? Because if she does, I would literally faint from shock because there is no proof. So lo and behold, to nobody's surprise, I asked Keem, hey Keem, what proof does she have? And he said, oh, well, she doesn't have any proof. And right then and there, I was like, so she has absolutely no proof, which is something I already knew because that night never happened. Not with me. And I mean, obviously, you guys will pick and choose which sides to believe, but I just hope nobody picks and chooses a side that has absolutely no proof. I can't convince you guys to be on my side, but just know that I would never, ever do anything like that. And if anything, I would have to call the cops on her for making these false accusations. I'm going to be the one to call the cops on her. How about that, Emily? Instead of you calling the cops on me, how about I call the cops on you for your false accusations? How about that? Then that'll be another video.
Yo guys, I don't know anything about these false accusations, but me and Emily were in a room on my birthday. We were both super drunk. We had never hooked up before this moment. We were talking for like 4 months, and she wanted to have sex with me, and I told her no because it was weird, and I didn't want that to be the first time we had sex was when she was super shit-faced, and I was putting her clothes back on as she was trying to take her clothes off, and I was putting it back on, and Brandon was never in that room. And this whole Debo situation, they both just want clout. Like Brandon said, if they really did get raped, they would have went to the cops. Why would they go to Keemstar? They would go to the cops. It's an obvious thing to do. Me and Brandon were never involved in a rape.
Okay, so that's a statement from Brandon and Anthony. Brandon says he wasn't even in the room when this alleged sexual assault took place, but the girl that was in the room, Emily, her friend came out with a statement also saying that she knows 100% that Brandon was in that room. Roll it.
So the night of Anthony's party, I was there. I was downstairs waiting for Emily while she was upstairs with Brandon and Anthony in the room, and I was just downstairs waiting for her, but she was in there with Brandon and Anthony.
Okay, now that everyone's got their statements in there, and I'm being fair so everybody has a say, let's get into the actual claims and the interview with these two girls that claim that Brandon and Anthony did horrible things to them. Roll it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have Emily and Deba on the line. These are the girls that reached out to me and was like, dude, there's really bad stuff that happened between them, Brandon and Anthony. Emily, I want to start with you because you basically said that Brandon and Anthony locked you in a room and like tried to force some sexual acts or whatever on you. Let's jump right into that. What happened? Like, what was the scenario? How did you end up in this situation, and what exactly happened?
So I think it was Anthony's birthday we were all at, and I was upstairs with a few of my friends and Brandon and Anthony, and they led me into this room and they locked me in there, and I was extremely drunk at the time. Like, I was falling over, could barely talk, like just not in the right state of mind. And then that is where Anthony and Brandon tried to have a threesome with me.
Wait, aren't they cousins?
Yeah, so it was super weird. I was super uncomfortable.
Okay, when you say they tried to have a threesome with you, did you, I mean, obviously you're super drunk. Were you telling them, like, no? Like, I'm not interested? Was that clear?
Yeah, they knew I was not interested in having a threesome with them because they're cousins. Which...
And so how far did this go? Like, what were they doing, if you don't mind me asking?
So they took off my shirt and they sat me on the bed. They also took off my pants as well. And Brandon whips out his dick, and so does Anthony. And Anthony wanted to watch me suck his cousin's dick, and while he would like jack off next to it. And then Brandon kind of like forced my head onto it, and then they were both laying down in the bed and they wanted me to like go back and forth like sucking their dicks, but I like refused to do that. And then Anthony got mad and just like stormed out of the room, but then Brandon stayed and continued to try to like do stuff with me. And then eventually
you just kept telling him like no and pushing him away, and they eventually got fed up and left.
Anthony did, yeah. And then I was just really weirded out, yeah.
Okay, well, thank God you weren't like raped, but you're definitely like sexually assaulted. Like they just took off your clothes. You're sitting there drunk, you're laying on the bed, and they're just taking off your clothes. Like, that alone is so fucked.
Yeah, it was a really bad situation.
But Deba, you said that you were in a video where you were pretending to be the cousin Anthony's girlfriend, right? And so
yeah,
you reached out to me and you said that Anthony, the cousin, right? He was convinced that this was all real, but it was clearly just for the video. Like, explain what happened.
So basically, I came from Toronto and we were hanging out at the mall for the whole day. That day we filmed the video. And after we left, they texted me, oh, come back to the house. I want to film a video. And like, you're going to have to act to be my girlfriend or Anthony's girlfriend for the video. And I went and like, they were just telling me like, oh, flirt with Anthony, do all of this. Like, just act like you're his girlfriend, doing all this stuff for the video. And then afterwards, when I went back to Toronto, continuously he would DM me, replying to all my stories like of my guy friends and saying that I'm flirting with them and I'm randomly fucking random people. And he was acting like we were actually dating. But whenever I brought it up, he was saying like, oh, I have no feelings for you. This is fake. This is that. Like, he would threaten me. Literally, every time.
Dude,
for him, if he posted anyone.
What is wrong with it? Do these guys have like little dick syndrome? Because
Literally,
yes.
they do.
But is there any other girls that you guys know of that they've done stuff to like this?
I had a friend who would hang out with me and all of them, and she was 17 at the time, and she hooked up with Brandon.
Brandon's a Pete. What do you mean hook up? Like, what kind of hookup are we talking about?
He like convinced her to suck his dick.
And did this happen? Where did this happen? Like, where exactly did this take place? Like, what state? Did it happen in California?
Yeah, it was in California.
That's against the law. That's 100% against the law. Like, the age of consent in California is a hard 18. So, wow. Do you think have you guys talked to her about doing this interview at all?
Yeah, I did talk to her. She's just sleeping right now, but she said she was like fine with people knowing, but she just doesn't want like herself put out there. Like she wanted to remain
anonymous.
Like she didn't want her name. Yeah, like she didn't want her name, but like
in these scenarios, a lot of times people on the internet will say like, okay, why tell the public about this? You know, why not just file a police report or something like that? Like, Emily, in your scenario, I mean, like, I feel like you could like have charges pressed on them for that. Like, so.
I mean, the thing is, like, I've been in a way worse situation in my past, and there's just not enough evidence to like support me, because like they could just say like that never happened, or like she wanted it, but I would need like a full like video and like DNA samples and like everything just to like have some impact on it. So I just want the public to be like more aware, and like for girls, like especially younger girls, to like be more careful around like YouTubers or like people that have like fame.
Well, those two, not YouTubers. There's a lot of good, honest, great YouTubers.
Yeah, I just want the public to be like aware, and more like especially young girls to be like careful around them in general.
And even in the video I sent you earlier, that Anthony even said like, I don't care about the fans, it's literally all clout, like delete your Instagram, it's the clout I gave you. And he's using the clout basically against me to say like, oh, I made you, so like I want you to delete it because I don't care about the fans, all I care about is the clout. So even that,
unbelievable. That's a huge misuse of, you know, people's fame or whatever. Like, that's just disgusting stuff. So, all right, well, we'll have to wait to see what Brandon and Anthony have to say about all this, but I thank you girls for coming on and sharing your story here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Guys, if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you take the time to slap a like on it. And if you're new here and you want to keep up to date on this story, because we are going to talk to Brandon to see what his story is, make sure you subscribe with those notifications on. And Drama Alert Nation, now over 5,500,000 subscribers.
I post my guy friends, and that's a huge deal. So that's not you. You clearly do. I seen your messages. You send me like every story, like stop doing this, stop doing that, like yelling at me for no reason.
With my fame, you don't like other guys' pictures.
Okay, but why?